In this chapter, we're going to discuss supplemental restraint systems. It's always good to check with the OEM to see what their recommendations are when it comes to supplemental restraint system wiring. Asian and European don't recommend repairing the circuit. Domestic models, typically yes. You can repair wire damage on a supplemental restraint system. But the two things that you have to ask yourself is, what are the Asian and European manufacturers trying to tell us? One, they're saying stay away from the wiring. But they're also saying replace the damage. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to replace the damaged area. You have to think of the wire harness as a sum of all of its components. If you have a valve cover that's damaged, would you replace the engine? Of course not. So if you have a damaged connector, why would you replace the wire harness assembly? I'm sure a lot of you have been faced with this situation. This is a connector that goes to the squib on a passenger airbag. And typically, when the bag deploys, this connector will melt. The heat from the squib gets pretty hot and takes this connector along with it. But would you replace the whole harness assembly for that type of damage? It's not necessary. What you can do is swap the connector housing. At Aeromotive, we provide a variety of supplemental restraint connectors. And in addition, we provide the wiring and the terminals available to replace it. So let's take a look at what we can do in this situation. Again, we're going to go back to our trusty screwdriver, and we're going to pop off the back shell on this connector housing. Now we have access to the terminals. It was locked. This housing was locked in by these two tabs that secured itself to the lower portion of the connector. So I needed to lift up each tab to gain access to the wiring. Once I'm inside the connector, look at that. They virtually fall out. In this one, I'm just going to pry up a little bit with my screwdriver and take it out of the housing. We're going to provide you with a new connector housing. So you will put it back into the same position you took it out of, place it back into the connector, and secure it. You're ready to go. The only other thing you have to remember to do is slide in the black connector positive assurance clip, otherwise known as CPA.